you know, I'm speaking of one who's probably a little bit more on the right side of the aisle, but I'm also a realist that we have to maintain our investment. And that's enough to compel me to get up. I'm a little bit passionate about this, and I think it's important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to testify or ask any questions? We've hit just about everybody in the room. There might be one or two people that we can say, okay? Yes?
I actually have a couple of things I'd like to say.
Sure.
I don't think this does much, but that's okay. One is I've had a call from constituents that live probably a quarter mile on Route 11 over the new intersection, the bridge, and all of that that's going on the Spalding Turnpike. And they're indicating to me there is no pedestrian nor bicycle way of getting across that bridge. And the mall happens to be less than a quarter mile on the other side of it. So it's, I guess in the future, we might be more thoughtful if that happens to be the case. And I haven't gone to the city hall to see if that's accurate or not. I haven't looked at the plans recently. The other is, please tell me it's federally mandated, not something we're doing, that those little signs every 0.2 of a mile. What a waste of money. Is that a safety issue supposedly or something?
It's more of a it's kind of tied in with 911 and emergency response in terms of incident management when there are accidents. It became a very big issue in terms of the proliferation of cell phone use. People get in accidents, people call 911, they call the police, they call fire.
So is it coming out of the 911 budget?
No, it's coming out of our, a lot of it is being done with betterment funds. It is relatively inexpensive. Those signs are small and they're on minor posts.
But putting them in and maintenance is not relative.
Yeah, but it is, I mean, it's come out of an overall effort statewide from emergency response and incident management to be able to more accurately locate incidences on the side of the road.
That was before we did pinpoint cell phones.
Maybe.
It just seems like
Yeah.
terrible. And I also don't like the metal guardrails there that are just going out every place. I just think some places are just absolutely not needed. And I'm not convinced that they're a safety factor, that keeping you going from one side of the turnpike to the other side. I'd much rather see some sort of a shrubbery there that had a vine that would catch the vehicle as opposed to, well, I think they're more dangerous, frankly.
Thank you. But I'll check on the Route 11 bridge. I mean, part of that, the bridge isn't done.
Right.
I mean, it's I know it's very narrow with the barrier there, and we're on half the bridge. I think part of it, when the barrier comes down, when it's open up, there will be room to put the coping and put the sidewalks on there. So.
I haven't gone to city hall thing.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they're active or not.
Anybody else? All right, well, thank you very much. I'm glad that we were able to come here to Rochester tonight. I didn't mention at the beginning, but I used to live in Rochester, and my dad's from Somersworth, so if that means anything when I'm looking at these projects, obviously this area is near and dear to my heart, but given the funding realities, it's going to be challenging. After this, since this is our last hearing, again, as I mentioned earlier, you still have an opportunity to send in anything in writing up until November 10th. And you can send that to Bill Cass. He couldn't make it tonight. He's ill.
Bill Watson.
Bill Watson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bill Watson. Bill Cass is here. Bill Watson. But send it to his attention to 7 Hazen Drive in Concord.
It is on the agenda.
03302.
The address is on the agenda.
The agenda's right.
Yeah.
The address is on the agenda. Thanks. And then once everything's compiled, GACIT's going to be in Concord again sometime in the mid-November.
Right. I think we have the 15th and the 30th.
15th and the 30th, and the regional planning commissions will be there from across the state. All 9 of them will all be there. They're open to the public if you want to come as well, but I suspect that a couple hours here probably did it for you. And then after that, we're going to hand that over to the governor, and the governor will then eventually hand it over to the legislature for them to make a decision by sometime in June of 2012. So thank you very much for coming. Have a good night.
Thank you.
I know this is
Thank you.